What happens when one team's offense turns unstoppable? The Memphis Grizzlies just rewrote their history books with a jaw-dropping performance that left fans and critics speechless. Stick around, because we're diving into the game that smashed records and shattered expectations. The Memphis Grizzlies lit up the court in a historic game against the Toronto Raptors, setting a franchise record with an explosive 155-point showcase. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Led by the unstoppable duo of Jaren Jackson Jr. and rookie Zach Edey, the Grizzlies flexed their offensive firepower, leaving no doubt why they're the NBA's top-scoring team this season. But it wasn't just about the points. They dominated every aspect of the game. With each notching outstanding double-doubles, Jaren Jackson Jr. and youngster Zach Edey gave explosive performances as the Memphis Grizzlies surged to a franchise record 155 points in a resounding victory against the visiting Toronto Raptors on Thursday, Friday, December 27th, Manila time. While the troubles of the Raptors worsened with their 9th straight loss, the Grizzlies, reigning as the top-scoring team in the NBA, confirmed their 7th victory in 9 games. Memphis's one-sided affair, guaranteed by his mastery of the boards and accuracy shooting, amazed spectators. Pulling down 16 rebounds, Zach Edey was a force in the paint. Jaren Jackson Jr. added 11 boards to augment his scoring barrage. Memphis had a well-rounded offensive onslaught with 8 players hitting double figures. With 19 points, Desmond Bane led the starts outside the double-doubling combo, followed by Jalen Wells with 17. Dynamic as always, Ja Morant added 15 points and coordinated the attack with 9 assists. Brandon Clark chipped in 11. Bench players Scottie Pippen Jr. and Luke Kennard poured in 15 points apiece. Now 1-14 on the road, the Raptors rely mostly on R.J. Barrett, who just missed a triple-double with 27 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. Scottie Barnes had 26 points and 8 assists, but the rest of the team couldn't keep up. Toronto battled to match Memphis's unrelenting intensity, out-rebounded 63-40, and outshot generally. Midway through the first quarter, Memphis surged from the gates to a 19-point advantage. The Raptors recovered, though, tied the game twice in the second quarter before Memphis reclaimed control and entered halftime with a 78-70 lead. The Grizzlies looked forward in the second half rather than backward. Their advantage was a rapidly third-quarter explosion to 22 points, and by the end of the quarter, they were well in front, 121-100. Further depressing the Raptors' morale, Toronto coach Darko Rajakovic, a former Memphis assistant, was kicked early in the fourth quarter following a tense encounter with the officials. Memphis increased their lead to as many as 32 points, headed toward a record-setting victory with Rajakovic injured. Though the tone was festive, Memphis had a scare in the first quarter when a crucial reserve, Santi Aldana, went down with a left ankle injury on a non-contact play. Under his own power, Aldama staggered to the dressing room and vanished. Toronto outscored the Grizzlies 50-43 to finish the half, so seeming to sap Memphis's momentum. The Raptors stayed within striking distance with their accurate first-half shooting, which was 53.8% overall and 60.9% in the first quarter. But Memphis's consistency, shot 53.7% in the first half and finished the night at 53.2%, was too much for Toronto to overcome. As Memphis strengthened their defense, the Raptors finished the game with 45.4%, a sharp decline. The victory underlined the Grizzlies' offensive prowess as well as their depth and under-pressure adaptability. Double-doubles from Jackson and Edey led a team effort with contributions from all over the lineup. Toronto had a tough evening with great individual efforts eclipsed by a lack of cohesiveness. Although Barrett and Barnes delivered excellent performances, the Raptors' losing run begs serious concerns over their consistency and road problems. Memphis's record-setting performance tells the rest of the league a lot. They are a team to take seriously. Top-scoring NBA team, their combination of young skill and seasoned leadership keeps driving their climb. For Toronto, the quest for solutions never ends. The Raptors have to reorganize fast to turn their season around as road challenges increase and emotions boil over. Rising from a contentious college standout to a bright NBA rookie, Zach Edey's story combines doubt with unquestionable success and is intriguing. Critics first questioned his fit in a league going towards speed and adaptability, sometimes comparing him to a Brook Lopez prototype, minus the three-point shooting. Edey's classic big man technique seemed, at first look, like a remnant of a bygone era in a game where fast, multi-skilled athletes rule. Edey has, however, disproved his critics by showing soft touch around the rim and footwork that defies his height. Memphis's overwhelming victory over the Raptors, a team that could sorely need a player of his caliber, showcased his ability to control games even fresh off an ankle sprain. Edey, who the Grizzlies drafted 9th overall in 2024, has had an unusual path to this point. Originally seen as a second-round talent at best, his draft position drew criticism. Many asked whether he could fit into a modern NBA that values adaptability over the classic center. Memphis, though, recognized promise where others saw constraints. Their optimism has been much rewarded. Edey has evolved rapidly from a footnote in discussions on unusual rookies to more than simply a side issue. He is writing his own story, one based on a passion to do better and constant effort. His achievement is a monument to his relentless work ethic as much as to his athletic abilities. Every game he participates in seems to support the Grizzlies' vision, therefore justifying their risk on his upside. Edey's resiliency adds even more significance to his climb. Having only recently taken up basketball, his improvement has been rather remarkable. He constantly exceeded expectations during his collegiate career, using every obstacle as a stepping stone to hone his abilities. This adaptability has followed him throughout his NBA career, helping him to be a player fit for a league requiring flexibility. Although many rookies find it difficult to acclimate, Edey's quick development points to a ceiling perhaps much higher than first projected. It's evident as he improves his NBA caliber abilities that what was once thought of as his ceiling might merely be the starting point. Memphis has found great value in his stature and changing skill set. Edey is a potential pillar for a franchise looking ahead, not only a fresh graduate. The Grizzlies' long-term intentions find him interesting as he can command the paint and adjust to their fast-paced approach. Edey's climb, however, has a mixed connotation for Raptors supporters. Especially for a squad that has long sought for a strong interior presence, the lack of a player with his rare mix of size and ability is obvious. Edey, a native of Canada, might have given the Raptors some national pride by being on their roster, therefore augmenting R.J. Barrett's efforts. Rather, Edey has settled in Memphis, a franchise that has welcomed his skills and provided him the environment to flourish. Not lost on Raptors supporters is Edey's success elsewhere as ironic. Although Toronto's front office had its own draft agenda, events like Edey's most recent exhibition act as a moving reminder of what might have been. The Raptors severely lack his ability to anchor a team and dominate the paint. Seeing him flourish in Memphis surely makes supporters who can only picture the influence he may have had on their team feel what if. Edey's absence will loom big as the Raptors keep assessing their roster and future plans. His path reminds us that brilliance often searches for a platform where it may blossom. It does not always remain home. Edey's contributions confirm Memphis's belief in his potential and for the league overall. His story is evidence of the changing role of the contemporary big man. Ultimately, while closely monitoring Edey's developing career, Raptors supporters are left to consider the legacy of what might have been. His development and achievement underline the need of endurance, flexibility, and faith in one's capacity. Edey's narrative is sure to excite and enthrall as he keeps defying expectations and forging his path in the NBA, so transforming the league and maybe causing Toronto great remorse. The narrative of Zach Edey reminds us strongly of how tenacity and flexibility could change expectations. From a prospect question for his conventional play style to a rookie redefining his position in a fast-changing NBA, Edey has demonstrated that skill and effort can transcend preconceptions. Rising above criticism, honing his abilities, and having an instant influence with the Memphis Grizzlies reveals a great deal about his tenacity and potential. Edey is more than simply a bright young player for the Grizzlies. He's a future building piece. Coupled with his adaptability and growth-oriented nature, his supremacy in the paint makes him an essential component of a team trying to compete at the top level. Every game Memphis participates in supports his choice to gamble on him in the draft. For Raptors supporters, Edey's success elsewhere still tells a mixed story. Seeing a Canadian-born athlete succeed in Memphis makes one proud, but also reminds one of what may have been. Edey's path, though, is evidence of discovering the ideal setting for development. His career will probably inspire and teach the value of opportunity and believe in unrealized potential as he keeps developing. What a game! The Grizzlies didn't just play, they made history, setting a new standard for offensive brilliance. Will this be the spark that propels them to even greater heights this season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another update.